Portions of the following program are transcribed. The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft Quality Foods, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous cheese food Velveeta. Everybody goes for Velveeta's rich yet mild cheddar cheese flavor in snacks, in sandwiches, and in hot dishes. And Velveeta, you know, helps supply important food values from milk. It's as digestible as milk itself. That's why smart homemakers keep Velveeta on hand regularly to spread or slice and to melt for grand economical hot dishes. Tomorrow, get Velveeta, the cheese food of Kraft quality. Well, the Christmas spirit has really taken over the Great Gildersleeve's house. Tinsel and bells, gifts being tucked away in every nook and corner. What excitement. The water commissioner can scarcely sleep at night.
Lumpy mattress. I shouldn't have hidden Leroy's bicycle under my bed.
And all the wonderful mysteries of the days before Christmas. Hidden parcels, closet doors all locked.
Leroy, what you doing peeking through that keyhole?
I wasn't peeking.
Looking through a keyhole into a dark closet. You can't see nothing in there.
Yeah, I know it.
Come on, let's get a flashlight.
Now it's coming on Christmas Eve.
Hey, where's Unc? Is that all the presents you're putting under the tree?
Well, that's all for now, Leroy. I may have a couple of other little items to bring down after you're snug in your bed,
Yeah?
while visions of sugar plums dance through your head.
That's something I could never figure out. What's a sugar plum?
Well,
Make room coming through.
well, Marjorie with her little presents.
Little presents is right. Holy smokes, you can carry them all in one hand. What a cheapskate.
Now, Leroy.
It's all right, Unky. It doesn't bother me a bit.
What dinky little packages. I bet everybody gets a doily.
The size of the package, my boy, doesn't mean a thing. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, I know.
This is going to be the best Christmas we ever had, Unky.
Well, it could be.
I have a big surprise for you.
For me?
I know, it's a motorcycle.
Yeah.
No, it's not a motorcycle. It's a wonderful surprise for a wonderful uncle.
Oh, Marjorie, don't hug me so tight.
Oop.
I heard something crack. Were they ribs?
No, Leroy, 3 cigars. Oh, well, I'll give them to Judge Hooker. I'll tell him they're a new brand of cigar with hinges in the middle. For smoking in phone booths.
I can hardly wait, Uncle.
Now, Marjorie, I hope you didn't buy me something expensive.
You'll never guess what it is.
Hmm?
Oh, that must be Bronco.
Yeah, that's Bronco, all right. He always rings the bell like a bear was chasing him.
Hello, Bronco. Come in.
Hiya, Marge, honey.
Well, come in, Bronco.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Gildersleeve. Leroy.
Merry Christmas to you, Bronco.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, honey.
Leroy.
Little brothers. You can leave your coat on, Bronco. We're all going over to the high school auditorium tonight.
Oh?
They're having the Kraft Choral Club from Chicago.
Wow, that's very nice, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, a lot of fine voices. Beautiful music.
What are they going to sing, Unc? That opera stuff?
No, Leroy. Christmas carols.
Bronco, I told Unky I have a surprise for him tonight.
Yeah, quite a surprise.
Oh? Is Bronco in on this, too? How about a little tip, Bronco?
Oh, I couldn't do that, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I don't know what it is, but Bertie does.
Bertie? Well, you children clean up the front room. I think I'll drift out to the kitchen and have a little talk with Bertie.
You won't get anything out of Bertie, Unky.
Well, I'm not trying to, Marjorie. I just want to see Bertie about arrangements for this evening. Of course, it wouldn't hurt to pick up a small clue. I love Christmas. Bertie!
Yes, excuse me?
Just thought I'd come out and see if you're all set for tonight.
Yes, sir. Bertie's all set.
Fine. Marjorie has a little surprise for me this evening.
Yes, sir.
Of course, I know what it is.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure you know what it is, too, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
That is, you may know what it is, but just so you'll be sure, Bertie, you write what you think it is on this piece of paper, and I'll write what I know it is. Then we'll exchange pieces of paper.
All right, Mr. Gildersleeve, here's my grocery pencil.
There. Now we exchange, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let's see what Bertie wrote. You ain't trapping me. Let's face it, Bertie. Marjorie's gone out and bought me a very nice present of some kind, and I'm a little worried about it.
Oh?
See, I don't have anything very spectacular for Marjorie. Just the usual presents for a girl.
Well, don't worry about that, Mr. Gildersleeve. Miss Marjorie ain't worried about what she's going to get this year. She's a grown-up lady now.
I know, Bertie, but I've got to give her something a little bit special. After all, she has this big surprise for me.
Pretty late to go buying anything now, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, that's right. By George, Bertie, I just had a great idea. You remember a long time ago I said when Marjorie grew up, I was going to give her my mother's diamond ring?
Yes, sir.
I was going to surprise her with it on her next birthday. But what's wrong with Christmas?
There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing.
I'll do it, Bertie. I've got the ring up in my dresser drawer. I'll go down to Mr. Peavy's and get a fancy box for it.
Oh, that sure will please her.
You bet. Bertie, don't you say a word about this to Marjorie.
No, sir. I ain't tell nobody nothing.
Don't you even give her a little hint.
I ain't tell nobody nothing.
Fine. What time is dinner?
I ain't tell nobody. Oh, I mean 6 o'clock.
Good old Bertie. Well, hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this Christmas Eve?
Peavy, I need a box. Something very fancy.
Well, what would you like to have in it?
Nothing, Peavy. I just want a little empty box. It's for a Christmas present.
Empty box, eh? You playing a little practical joke on somebody, are you?
No, Peavy, it's for a ring. I want a box for a ring.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so?
Do you have one?
I don't think so.
Peavy, you must have something around here. There's a lot of little boxes there in the showcase.
Those are all full of cold tablets.
Oh, for goodness.
How about an aspirin box? You could take the aspirin out.
Peavy, this is Marjorie's Christmas present. I'm giving her my mother's diamond ring. The most wonderful surprise of her life. Now, come on, Peavy.
Well, I think I can find you something.
Attaboy. Look at this ring. Isn't that a beauty?
My.
I've just been waiting for Marjorie to grow up so I could give it to her.
Makes me feel a little old, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Huh?
Seems like only yesterday that Marjorie was in here dangling her pigtails in a chocolate sundae.
Yeah, those pigtails are up in the attic now. I kept them both.
Very sweet girl, Marjorie.
Yes, she is, Peavy. I was thinking this afternoon while Marjorie and Leroy and I were decorating the tree how much those children mean to me. How I've cared for them and watched them grow. Yeah, they're everything I have, Peavy.
It's nice to feel that way. Makes a nice Christmas, too. All the stockings hung up by the chimney.
You bet. Too bad you didn't have any children, Peavy. Only 2 stockings on your mantel.
No, we have 3. Mrs. Peavy hangs up both of hers.
Oh, for goodness. I've got to run, Peavy. I'm picking up Miss Milford, and we're all going over to the auditorium to hear the craft chorus. Why don't you folks drop over to the house later, Peavy? Christmas Eve, you know.
Well, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve, and happy Christmas carols.
Yeah, see you later, Peavy. Well, the auditorium's almost full. Yeah, let's sit down here, Catherine.
Thank you, Throckmorton.
Oh, you look lovely this evening.
Thank you. I feel like a debutante with this corsage you sent me.
Well, what the heck? It's Christmas. I gave the florist $3.75 and told him to shoot the works. Oop, who's that?
Look up here on the roof.
Leroy!
Oh, no. Where is he?
Way up there in the balcony, eating peanuts. Leroy, watch those shells.
Look, there's Bronco and Marjorie.
Yeah, you can't miss Bronco. What a moose.
Aren't they cute together?
Yeah. You care to put your coat over the back of the seat? Get it off your shoulders?
Thank you.
Nice evening gown. Love concerts.
Shh, Throckmorton, the curtain is going up.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this Christmas Eve, it is our pleasure to present the Kraft Choral Club under the direction of Gerhard Schroff.
Well, fine-looking group. All in tuxedos. Catherine, I'm going to give you a little preview of a surprise I have for Marjorie tonight. What do you think of this?
Oh, what a gorgeous ring.
I beg your pardon. Excuse me, please.
Oop, the judge, late again.
Well, Gildy. Good evening, Miss Milford.
Good evening, Judge Hooker.
Sit down, Judge. You're interrupting something important.
I am? Oh, are you presenting your lady fair with a ring?
Oh,
Judge, please. This is Throckmorton's gift to Marjorie.
It is?
Horace, why don't you drop over after the concert and watch Marjorie's eyes light up when she sees this, huh?
Thank you, Gildy. I'll be happy to.
Yeah, the Peavies are coming over.
They're about to sing again, Throckmorton.
Yeah, I'd invite all the Kraft singers, too, but I'm afraid Bertie might run out of cheese and crackers.
Throckmorton, hush.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful music. I think this is the best part of Christmas Eve.
Very nice, Judge. Wait till we get over to our house and Marjorie starts opening her presents. Oh, brother, I can hardly wait.
The great Gildersleeve will return in just a minute. Santa Claus season is pretty expensive, isn't it? Well, if the holiday ahead might put your food budget in the red, here's how to economize now so you'll be prepared for the splurge meals. Use up leftovers tomorrow and Friday and Saturday by dressing them up with the wonderful cheese sauce you can make with Kraft's smooth melting cheese food Velveeta. You see, you can pour this Velveeta sauce over leftovers, ham or veal or fish, or just over toast for an economical hot main dish you can make in a jiffy. That sauce will help you economize after Christmas, too, when you serve it with the last bits of the Christmas bird. For that tasty sauce, all you do is melt 1/2 pound of Velveeta in the top of your double boiler. Then gradually stir in 1/4 cup of milk and season to taste. That's all there is to it for a sauce that'll give your main dish a grand, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And fine nourishment, too, because Velveeta is rich in important food values from milk. So for a wide variety of hot main dishes that are really economical, use good-eating Velveeta, the cheese food that's as digestible as milk itself. When you buy, be sure you get genuine Velveeta. It's the cheese food of top quality, made only by Kraft. Well, the folks have just come home from the Christmas Eve concert, and it's getting close to the big moment the great Gildersleeve has been waiting for.
Marjorie, you and Catherine come over by the fire. Bronco, why don't you throw another log on?
What? Oh, sure, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Bronco, that's the footstool.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve. I don't know what I was thinking about.
He's excited tonight, Unky.
What's everybody so excited about?
It's Christmas Eve, Unc. Let's light the tree and open the packages.
Well, better light the tree, I guess. Where's that plug? Yeah. Get ready, everybody. Here go the lights.
Oh, it's perfectly beautiful, Throckmorton.
Yeah, that's quite a tree.
Isn't it wonderful?
Oh, it's very effective with all those lights bubbling.
Well, I'm sort of a bubbly fellow, too, around Christmas time. Why shouldn't I be? Got a lot of good friends and a wonderful little family.
You certainly have, Throckmorton.
Yes, sir, I've raised 2 fine children, and they mean all the world to me.
We go through this every year, Miss Milford.
Leroy.
Well, I mean it. I appreciate you more and more every year.
We appreciate you, too, Unc. Now let's open the presents.
Yeah, let's open the presents.
My surprise to you comes last, Unky.
Well, I have a surprise for you, too, Marjorie, but wait a minute. We can't open presents till the others get here.
What others?
You mean you're expecting somebody else, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, I invited Judge Hooker and the Peavies.
But, Uncle Mort, we thought it was just to be the family and Miss Milford.
Yeah, that's what we thought, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, Marjorie, I sort of wanted the Judge and the Peavies to see what I have for you.
Yeah, what's wrong with having them over at Christmas? They always bring presents.
Leroy is being very practical about this thing.
Yeah, Christmas to Leroy is like bank night.
Yeah.
Bronco, let's bring some more chairs into the dining room, huh? Say, where's Bronco? Did he fall in the fireplace?
I think he went in your den, Unky.
Oh?
Mr. Gildersleeve,
Yes, Bronco?
may I see you for a minute?
Certainly. Excuse me, everybody. Deck the halls with flowers and holly.
Do you mind if we close the door, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Close the door? Is it that secret?
Well, it's about the surprise Marjorie was telling you about.
Well, don't tell me now, Bronco. I want to wait for it.
I think I should tell you, Mr. Gildersleeve, before the others come.
Huh? What difference does that make?
Well, we planned this for just you and the family. Marjorie and I were going to stand up by the tree hand in hand and give you your surprise.
Cute.
I was going to make the speech.
You? A speech?
Yes, sir. I was going to tell you that Marjorie and I want to be married.
Married? Well, sure, maybe sometime, Bronco.
Not sometime, Mr. Gildersleeve. This is definite. I'm asking you if I may marry Marjorie.
Marry Marjorie? Little Marjorie? So, this is her surprise, eh?
I love her, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes.
And Marjorie loves me. That's pretty important.
Yeah, I guess it is.
We've been thinking about it for a long time. I guess it's sort of sudden to you, but... Well, what do you think, Mr. Gildersleeve? We aren't going to do anything hasty, sir. We weren't even planning it until spring. Late spring. June, maybe? That's long enough to wait. Don't you think so, Mr. Gildersleeve?
I've never thought about it at all.
Well, you'll probably get used to the idea of not having Marge around by then. Wouldn't you? I've been saving my money. In fact, Marge and I aren't giving each other much for Christmas. We're looking ahead. I want to be able to take good care of Marjorie, Mr. Gildersleeve. Of course, we wouldn't do anything without your permission. So, what do you think, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Bronco, I think the other guests have arrived by now. Will you tell them I'll be out in a minute?
Of course, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'll tell them.
Little Marjorie. Can't believe it. Just can't imagine this house without her. Couldn't bear to go into her little room again, where I used to tuck her in, read her bedtime stories, care for her when she had measles, chickenpox. I've worked and sacrificed to raise Marjorie. Now, when she means the most to me, somebody wants to take her away. That boy has his nerve. Who does he think he is? Who is it?
It's Catherine Throckmorton.
Oh.
Judge Hooker and the Peavies are outside. Don't you think you should join the party?
Well, I have some thinking to do. Catherine?
Yes.
Bronco and Marjorie want to get married.
Oh, I suspect it's something like that. Isn't it wonderful?
What's so wonderful about it?
Why, Throckmorton, I should think you'd be very proud and happy.
Happy? How would you feel if your Christmas surprise meant losing your daughter?
Well, I suppose I'm thinking more about Marjorie's happiness and Bronco's. How radiant she looks tonight and what it will mean to them. Try to remember, Throckmorton, that a mother wants more than anything else to have her daughter marry a nice young man. Somebody who will be kind and good to her. Bronco will.
My Marjorie.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Give me a little time, Catherine.
Anybody want more cocoa and popcorn balls?
Oh, no, thank you, Bertie.
Gosh, where's Unc? It's time to open the presents.
Now, Leroy, let's not be impatient.
Unc has a present under the tree for you, Judge.
He has? Where is Gildy?
Of course, when he comes out, he ought to start handing out to the little kids first.
Well, they say age before beauty, Leroy. Perhaps Peavy should receive his present first. He's the oldest man here.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Marjorie, while we're waiting for the Lord of the Manor, perhaps you'll play the piano for us.
Oh, Judge, I couldn't. I'm too excited tonight.
Well, here comes Mr. Gildersleeve.
I'm sorry if I kept everybody waiting.
What have you been doing, Gildy? Hibernating in your den?
Come on, Unc. I want to see what Santa Claus brought.
Yes, it is time to pass out the presents, isn't it? Leroy, we'll start with you. Here you are, my boy.
Oh, boy, thanks, Unc.
And Bertie, here's a package with your name on it.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Old Santa Claus never forgets Bertie.
Now we come to Marjorie. I said I had a special surprise for her tonight.
Oh, that's nice.
A number of years ago, my mother gave me her engagement ring. I guess she secretly hoped that someday I'd give it to a girl and start a little family. Well, I have a little family. A fine niece and nephew. But I Haven't been very lucky on the other score. And so this Christmas, I thought I'd present my mother's ring to Marjorie.
Oh, Unky.
Splendid idea.
But something has happened tonight which forces me to change my plans. Instead of giving the ring to Marjorie, I want to give it to Bronco to give to Marjorie.
Me, Mr. Gildersleeve? You want me to give it to her?
Here, Bronco. Read the card.
To Marjorie, for always, from Bronco.
Bronco is joining our little family.
Oh, Unky, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve, very much. We hadn't planned to have an engagement ring.
I hope you'll be very happy, both of you.
Let me shake your hand, my boy.
So happy for you, Margie.
Gosh, Unc, is Marjorie leaving us?
Well, let's not talk about that now, huh, my boy? Bertie, isn't it time for your little Christmas song?
Yes, sir, if Miss Marjorie feels like playing the piano.
I never felt more like it in my life.
Fine. This is a little lullaby Bertie always sang to the children since Marjorie was this high. Lay thou little tiny child, bye-bye, lolly, thou little tiny child, bye-bye, lolly, lolly. Yes, sir. This is the best Christmas ever.
And now Mr. Harold Perry steps out of his role as the great Gildersleeve.
To wish you all a very Merry Christmas. You know, we don't often get a chance to tell you listeners how much your enthusiasm and support mean to the group of people who bring you this program every week. But we mean very sincerely that if hearing the program gives you one half the pleasure that bringing it to you gives to us, we're more than satisfied. We're glad that we have this opportunity to come into your homes and wish you all the joys and blessings of the holiday season. So it's a Merry Christmas to all of you from all of us. Walter Tetley,
Leroy.
Mary Lee Robb,
Marjorie.
Lillian Randolph,
Bertie.
Earl Ross,
Judge Hooker.
Kathy Lewis,
Katie Milford.
Dick Crinner,
Bronco.
and Dick LeGrand.
Mr. Peavy.
Yeah. And a Merry Christmas, too, from all the people behind the scenes. From Jack Meakin and the orchestra, writers Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White. From Ray Ferguson and Monty Frazier, our engineer and sound effects artist. And from our producer-director, Fran Van Hartesveld. And, of course, these holiday greetings come to you, too, from our sponsors, the Kraft Foods Company, their representative on this program, announcer Jay Stewart, the Kraft Choral Club, and the entire family of Kraft employees. Merry Christmas, everybody, and good night.
Ladies, Pabstet, the delicious cheddar cheese food, is offering you a knife of 100 uses, the Super Slicer. It tears faster, slices cleaner, removes olives and cherries from bottles in a jiffy. It's the handiest kitchen knife in years. And you can get this knife for only 25 cents and the top label of a round package of delicious Pabstet cheese food or the red arrow from the top of a 2-pound Pabstet loaf. Send your Pabstet label and your quarter tonight to Phoenix Pabstet, Box 5239, Chicago 77, Illinois. Please print your return address.
Portions of tonight's broadcast were transcribed. Break the Bank, radio's biggest money-paying show, is next on NBC. The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft quality foods, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous cheese food Velveeta. Everybody goes for Velveeta's rich yet mild cheddar cheese flavor in snacks, in sandwiches, and in hot dishes. And Velveeta, you know, helps supply important food values from milk. It's as digestible as milk itself. That's why smart homemakers keep Velveeta on hand regularly to spread or slice and to melt for grand economical hot dishes. Tomorrow, get Velveeta, the cheese food of Kraft quality. Well, it's dinner time at the Great Gildersleeve's house. The water commissioner and his little family are gathered around the dining room table. That smells good. Wonder what they're having.
Marjorie and I aren't going to have anything. What an appetite. Leroy, where's the fire?
I gotta hurry, Uncle. Only got one more day to eat in 1949.
One more day. Well, slow down, my boy. We may have a couple of meals around here in 1950, you know.
Okay.
There's a good New Year's resolution for Leroy. Have better table manners.
Well, that's a capital idea, Marjorie.
Yeah, well, Marge could make some resolutions, too. Since she got engaged to Bronco, she's goony.
Leroy?
I'm not paying any attention to him, Unky.
No kidding, Uncle. When she came downstairs this morning, I said, "Hi, Marge." She didn't say anything. She kissed me on the forehead.
Well, what's wrong with that?
She got lipstick on me. Had to wash my face to get it off. With soap.
What a calamity.
Since she got engaged to Bronco, she acts like she's crazy or something.
Now, Leroy, that's enough.
Now, don't be angry with him, Unky. He's a sweet little brother.
Hey, you see what I mean?
No, my boy, Marjorie's happy, that's all.
Holy smoke, what'll it be like when she gets married? More potatoes, Miss Gildersleeve?
No, thank you, Bertie. I'm watching my waistline, you know.
I forgot to tell you, Mr. Gildersleeve, a card came for you in the mail today. It's up on the mantel.
Oh? Probably a Christmas card.
Could be. I think it's from Mr. Bullard across the street.
Mr. Bullard?
Guess he tried to beat old Santa Claus to the mailbox, but he didn't quite make it. And also, he didn't quite make it.
Just like Bullard, sending a Christmas card a week after Christmas. I bet he did it on purpose.
He probably got yours, Unc. Then he had to send one to you.
Well, I didn't send him one. I'll be very frank in saying, Leroy, that Mr. Bullard is not on my list of friends. Always bragging about the new garage he built for his Cadillac. Him and his overhead doors.
The Bullards are giving a New Year's Eve party, Unky. Bronco and I are going.
Oh?
Yeah, they got the house decorated already. They're going to have funny hats and horns and everything.
Hats and horns. Pooh.
Well, you don't mind if we go, do you, Unky?
Certainly not, if you had nothing else to do.
What are you doing tomorrow night?
Me? Well, don't you worry. I'll have a very pleasant New Year's Eve. Fact of the matter is, I may give a party myself.
No kidding, Unc?
Bullard may have a corner on everything else, but by George, he doesn't know New Year's Eve.
Oh, boy, can I be at the party, Unc? Can I, Unc?
You bet you can, my boy. I'll have a real party with real friends. And no stuffy old hats and horns either. I'll show that Bullard. I'll do something original. We'll have a square dance. Or maybe a hayride.
Gee, a hayride'd be swell, Unc.
You betcha. A real old hayride with a horse and a sleigh. And plenty of hay.
Gee, that'll be keen. With jingle bells?
Certainly.
And can I drive the horse, Unc?
Sure.
Oh, boy.
Yes, sir. I'll ask the Peavies, Floyd and his wife, Chief Gates, Judge Hooker, and, of course, Katie Milford.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun, Unky.
Excuse me, children. Have to run over to Miss Milford's house. Got to get the invitations out. Hey, George, if Bullard thinks I'm going to pine away because he didn't ask me to his New Year's Eve party, he's got another think coming. Hayride. What an idea. Gildersleeve, you're clever.
Well, Throckmorton.
Ooh, hello, Catherine.
Come on in.
Thank you. Snowing outside.
Uh-huh. I didn't expect to see you this evening. I was just getting ready to wash my hair. I look dreadful.
No, you don't. With your hair all floating around like that, you look like a princess.
Oh, Throckmorton.
I'll bet it's naturally curly, too.
Would you like to sit down?
Thank you. I've got some very exciting news for you, Catherine. A big New Year's Eve party tomorrow night.
Yes, I know. Sounds exciting, doesn't it?
It does?
I'm awfully glad you're going, Throckmorton. I was afraid I wouldn't know anyone there except the hostess.
Hostess?
I rather thought you'd be going, though, since you live right across the street from the Bullards.
Bullards? You mean you're going to the Bullards tomorrow night?
Why, yes. Aren't you?
Well, I guess I could have if he'd we're having a party at our house. Well, not in the house exactly. I'm going to rent a horse.
A horse?
Yes. Oh, we're going to have an old-fashioned hayride. You better tell the Bullards you can't make it and come along.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
It'll be a dull party at Bullards. Nothing but stale marshmallows and home movies. But there's nothing like a hayride with a bright moon and a slow horse.
I'd love to go, Throckmorton, but I promised Mrs. Bullard.
Yes. Well, you'll be missing a fine hayride. We're going to have a lot of jolly people.
I wish I could go with you, Throckmorton, but you know how it is with the Bullards.
Yeah. Well, guess I'd better go. You're busy.
No, I'm just going to wash the wave solution out of my hair.
I wish I could wash Bullard out of mine.
Hi, Commish.
Oh, hello, Floyd.
Climb right up in the chair. Just getting ready to close up. What'll it be, Commish? A haircut? Getting kind of shaggy in the back.
Yeah, well, just trim it up, Floyd.
Yes, sir. The towel around your hair now.
I'm making the rounds today, Floyd. Lining up all my old friends for a big New Year's Eve party.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Old 1949's about washed up. Won't hurt my feelings none to see it go down the drain. Bend your head forward, Commish.
Yeah, I'm giving a party tomorrow night, Floyd.
Yeah, swell. New Year's Eve's the night for it, all right. Bullard was in the shop a while ago. Seems he's tossing a big wing ding at his house.
Yeah, I've heard about it, Floyd.
Me and the missus is going.
What? Ow!
Golly, Commish, you shouldn't jump when I got the clippers on you. You yanked out a little hair there.
Floyd, you're not going to the Bullards.
Why not? He asked me.
A fine friend you are. I came in here to invite you to go to my house.
Thought you'd come in for a haircut.
Floyd, doesn't friendship mean anything to you?
Huh?
I'm giving a party tomorrow night. All the old crowd. I'm getting a horse and a sleigh. We're going to have a big hayride.
Oh, no good, Commish. Lovey gets hay fever.
Yeah.
Besides, we're going to Bullard's.
All right, go ahead. Hay fever. You'll just miss all the fun.
Oh, I don't know. Kind of looking forward to a little hobnobbing with high society. I've always wanted to take a bite out of that upper crust.
Upper crust?
Besides, Mr. Bullard gets his hair cut here, too, you know.
Okay, if that's the way you feel about it. I'll simply strike your name from the guest list, that's all.
What's the guest list?
The people who are coming to my party.
Who are they?
Never mind.
Oh.
Plenty of people coming. Big people. Well, gotta be going, Floyd. I hope you have a good time at the Bullards.
Hey, wait, Commish.
Never mind finishing the haircut, Floyd.
Oh, I don't care about that. You're walking out with my towel.
Yep. Hello, Peavy.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this evening?
Well, I'm having my troubles, Peavy.
Too bad.
Thank goodness there's one person in this town I can count on.
Who's that?
You.
Oh?
The way your friends let you down when you need them. It's a sad thing, Peavy. Floyd, Chief Gates.
Short of money, are you, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Short of money? What gave you that idea?
Well, when a man comes in with half a haircut, you can't help but wonder.
I forgot all about that.
I thought perhaps you'd gone into Floyd's shop and ordered a quarter's worth.
No, Peavy.
Or possibly that Floyd was doing his barbering on a piecework basis.
so much per hair.
Well, I thought that was rather amusing. So much per hair.
Well, I'm in no mood to be amused, Pete. I'm giving a big party, and you're invited.
Oh, thank you. Any special time?
Tomorrow night, Petey, New Year's Eve.
Oh, sorry, I can't make it, Mr. Gildersleeve. Mrs. Peavy and I are going to the Bullards.
No, Peavy, not you, too.
Yes, Mrs. Peavy is quite elated about it. In fact, she's making a new dress for the occasion. Glazed chintz, I believe it is.
But, Peavy, I'm going to have a hayride with a horse and a sleigh and everything. Surely you'd rather go on a hayride with Mrs. Peavy than get lost in that mob at Bullard's house.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
I should have known.
Oh, here's the judge.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Judge.
Hello, Horace.
Well, what happened, Gildy? Did the barber shop catch fire?
Never mind, Judge.
What are you doing New Year's Eve, Judge?
Not a thing, Peavy. I was invited to Bullard's residence, but I dislike stuffy, crowded rooms, so I declined.
Good for you, Horace.
Mr. Gildersleeve here is having a hayride tomorrow night.
A hayride?
Now, wait a minute. If nobody's coming...
Were you planning to invite me, Gildy?
Certainly, Horace.
I accept the invitation. I'm extremely fond of hayrides. Do you have a sleigh?
No, and I don't think...
Then I'll arrange for the sleigh. Orrin Fetzler has a crackerjack behind his garage. A huge one. How about a horse? We'll have to have a horse, Gildy.
Yes?
We can borrow Frank Pittman's. Her name's Pearl. A wonderful snow horse. Frank used her on his ice wagon.
But, Judge...
And we'll need hay, Gildy. I should say approximately 5 bales. I'll arrange for the hay. I think this is going to be the most enjoyable New Year's Eve, Gildy. A merry group of voices raised in song and laughter. Who's going, Gildy?
You and I and Leroy.
More about Gildy's New Year's Eve plans in just a minute. When it comes to making New Year's resolutions, I'd like to make a suggestion for you homemakers. Why don't you resolve to keep a 2-pound loaf of Velveeta on hand all the time? Because Kraft's famous cheese food can help you so many different ways. You see, Velveeta can help you when you need quick and easy snacks, hearty, good-eating lunchbox sandwiches, and a variety of hot dishes, too. Yes, you can melt golden Velveeta for a smooth sauce that'll give even leftover ham or veal or turkey or fish or vegetables new goodness. Smooth melting Velveeta gives them such a grand, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And this good-eating Velveeta sauce is easy to make. Just melt 1/2 pound of Velveeta in the top of your double boiler. Then gradually stir in 1/4 cup of milk. Season to taste, and presto, you'll have a grand-tasting, wholesome cheese sauce that'll help you solve many problems all through the new year. When you shop, get Kraft's smooth-melting cheese food in the economical 2-pound loaf. So there'll be plenty on hand for snacks and sandwiches and grand cheese sauce dishes, too. Just be sure you get genuine Velveeta. It's the cheese food of top quality, made only by Kraft. Well, the great Gildersleeve's plans for a big hayride New Year's Eve seem to have gone a little sour. Most everybody is going to Mr. Bullard's party. Everybody, that is, except the water commissioner, Judge Hooker, and little Leroy. They're going on the hayride.
Fine hayride. A horse in the front and an old goat in the back. What a New Year's Eve. That Bullard invited everybody else in town, practically. Well... isn't bothering me any. Wouldn't have gone to his old party if he'd invited me. Oof, here comes Bullard now. Wonder if he planned to invite me and had slipped his mind. Could happen. After all, none of us is perfect. I'll bet that's what happened. Well, hello, Bullard.
Good morning, Gildersleeve.
Nice morning.
Yes, it is.
Looks like it's going to be a nice New Year's Eve, too.
Yes, I believe it will. Have a pleasant Christmas, did you?
Oh, yes, fine Christmas. I'm looking forward to New Year's Eve, though. That's tonight.
Yes, it is.
I hear you're planning to give the little baby New Year a festive welcome.
Oh, yes. We're sort of opening up the house this evening. We expect it to be a rather jolly affair.
Well, having a lot of people, I presume.
Yes. I think I've invited about everybody in town. Except, of course, for the undesirable.
Zeke.
I had to overlook a few of the less savory members of our community. Mrs. Bullard doesn't like to take chances with her silver. I must be on my way. Good day, Gildersleeve.
Good day.
Is that you, Unky?
I don't know.
What's wrong, Uncle Mort?
That Bullard. Marjorie, I'd rather you and Bronco didn't go over there tonight.
Well, why not, Uncle?
I don't want any of my family in that house, not even on that side of the street. What I'd give to turn off his water. Bullard and his copper pipes.
Now, Uncle Mort, if all this is because he didn't ask you over...
That's not the reason.
Well, what is the reason?
I simply want nothing to do with any of the Bullards. That's the reason. There's some people in this world who just have no business being people. If I didn't own this house, I'd move. I wouldn't even live in the same block with the Bullards. Not even in the same town.
Now, Uncle, you just feel that way now. Tomorrow you'll forget all about it.
Oh, no, I won't.
I've seen you go through these things before. One minute you can't stand Mr. Bullard, and the next minute you want to be friends. You've been going on like this for years, Uncle Mort.
Well, it's not going on anymore. This is the end.
I know. You said that before, too.
Maybe I have, but this time I mean it. I'm making a New Year's resolution. From now on, I'm having absolutely nothing to do with Bullard. I'm all through with him. I'm washed up. I mean, he's washed up.
All right, Unky, we'll see.
You'll see, all right. He's off my list once and for all. I won't even see his face. Just wait till the next time he backs his fat Cadillac over our curb. I'll tell him a thing or two.
You home, Miss Gildersleeve?
Yeah, you bet I'm home, Bertie.
Here's the card that came for you yesterday. I'm cleaning off the mantle.
From Bullard, huh? I ought to send it back to him. I ought to fill the envelope full of termites and slip it under his house.
What is it, Unky? A Christmas card?
Wait a minute. What's this? Dear Mr. Gildersleeve, we are having a few friends in New Year's Eve. We hope you'll be able to join us. Cordially yours, Rumps and Bullard.
Unky, it's your invitation to the party.
Must be a mistake.
No. You see, it was mailed 3 days ago. You see, Uncle Mort? I told you that was the reason you were angry with Mr. Bullard. Now you'll change right back again.
The invitation had nothing to do with it. Of course, if they'd asked me to come...
Uncle Mort, I can see right through you.
Oh, no, you can't.
Hi, Unc. What time do we start on the hayride?
Well, Leroy...
I think Uncle Mort's changed his mind about the hayride. He's invited over to the Bullards.
Oh, you going over there?
Well, you see, Leroy...
Everything's all right now. Unky has an invitation.
Marjorie, that's not it at all. It's simply when a person asks you to his home...
You promised to take me on a hayride.
Oh, Leroy!
You said you weren't going to go to the Bullards. You said we were going on a hayride.
Really nothing, Bertie. It'll all blow over in a minute.
The heck will you promise I can go on a hayride?
Oh, please, Leroy.
Well, ain't you going on the hayride, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, Bertie...
He's going to the Bullards.
Who said I was going to the Bullards, for heaven's sake?
Oh, boy, then it's okay for the hayride?
Leroy, I couldn't get anybody to go along. Just Judge Hooker. We can't have a hayride with 3 people.
Why not? That's all the more hay for us.
Well, I got to know if you're going hayriding. I'm putting up the lunch, Mr. Gildersleeve. If you're not going hayriding, ain't no need of putting up no lunch.
Sure we're going. Unc said we were, didn't you, Unc?
I didn't say anything.
I just want to know, that's all, one way or the other. Bertie ain't got no crystal ball out there in that kitchen. If I'm going to put up a lunch, I got to know.
You better decide what you're going to do, Unky.
You said we were going.
No, that's all, one way or the other. If I'm going to put up the lunch, I got to know.
All right, for heaven's sake, we'll go on the hayride.
Really, Unc?
Yes, really.
There now, you see, Leroy, all that hollering was for nothing.
Oh, no, it wasn't. I nearly lost.
Oh, what a family.
How many's going on the hayride, Mr. Gildersleeve?
3, Bertie. Leroy, Judge Hooker, and I.
Nobody else?
No, Bertie.
You're going to have to get the horse in with you to keep warm.
Well, I've got to go get my coat on. Bronco will be here any minute.
This is going to be a swell hayride, isn't it? No girls.
Yeah, some hayride.
I sure feel sorry for those guys over at Bullard's house. Nothing to do but dance with girls. They'll sure envy us. We'll have a horse. I'm sure proud of you, Unc. When you say you'll do something, you stick to it.
Yes,
And you don't change your mind either.
Leroy, you've got this thing in the bag. You don't have to put a double knot on it.
Hey, Unc, look out in front. We got a horse and a sleigh.
Yeah, Judge Hooker. Come in, Judge.
Greetings, Gildy. And greetings to you, Leroy.
Hi, Judge.
Well, don your gay apparel, Gildy. I've got the sleigh and the hay, and good old Pearl is chomping at the bit.
All right, Judge.
I was a little late. Pearl insisted on bringing me here by the long way around. She had to follow Frank Pittman's ice route.
Hey, Judge, can I ride the horse?
Certainly, Leroy. You can sit on my lap and hold the reins. But let's be on our way. The moon is already high in the sky.
Moon? I'll get my coat and be right with you, Horace. New Year's Eve. Everybody over at Bullard's. Music, food, Catherine. She'll probably be more beautiful than ever before. Where'll I be? Sitting on a pile of hay with Judge Hooker. Freezing my ears off. Why can't I keep my big mouth shut? Well, it's too late now, Gildersleeve. You've made your little bed. Now lie in it. Nice bed full of hay.
Hurry up, Gildy. The old year's fading fast.
Wish I could fade with it.
Coming, Horace.
Are you all ready, Gildy?
Guess so, Judge.
I'm all set.
What's in that box you're carrying?
Oatmeal for the horse. He's got to have a little fun, too.
Yes.
Leroy, it's a she-horse.
He horse, she horse. Let's get going.
Here's the lunch, Mr. Gildersleeve. Don't forget your lunch.
Good evening, Bertie.
Good evening, Judge. It's sure a mighty fine night for a hayride.
Yes.
It's a perfect night for a hayride, Bertie. The way I feel right now, we may go flying off across the snow into the star-filled night, away to some mystic fairyland in the enchanted forest.
Old Mother Goose. Come on, Horace.
Yeah, let's go.
By the way, Gildy, where's Marjorie?
Marjorie went to Bullard's party with Bronco.
How unfortunate. She doesn't know what she's missing not going with us.
Have a good time. Don't tip over in the snow.
Don't you worry, Bertie. I'm an expert horse driver.
Yeah, so long, Bertie.
Have a good time, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, boy, look, Unc. What a keen horse.
Hello, horsey. Pearl sags in the middle.
She's a noble animal, Gildy. Once out in the open country, she'll fairly fly.
Yeah, well, let's get aboard and fly. Climb up, Leroy.
I'm up here. Oh, boy, plenty of hay.
That moon you mentioned isn't very bright, Horace. How are we going to see anything?
Don't you worry, Gildy. Pearl can see. She's full of carrots.
Yep.
Now, let's mount to the driver's seat. There. Isn't this delightful, Gildy? Like sitting on a throne.
Seats full of splinters.
Gee, this is keen. We can all sit up here and drive.
Isn't anybody going to sit in the hay?
Well, we can take turns, Gildy. One of us will drive while the others sit in the hay. Are we all ready?
Sure, give her the gas.
New Year's Eve. Bullard's house all lighted up. Never felt so lonely in all my life.
Hey, come here. Fire up that nag and let's get down the road.
Okay. Who said that?
Well, that sounded to me like Floyd.
What?
Hey, what's going on? Somebody giggled.
Gildersleeve, are we going to sit here all night?
Hey, that was Bert.
Gildy, there are people in our hay.
Happy New Year, Unky.
Marjorie.
Holy smoke!
Hiya, fellas.
Floyd.
Good evening, gentlemen.
And Peavy. What's going on here? And Mrs. Peavy.
Now, it's quite simple, Gildersleeve. Marjorie explained that you wanted us to go with you, so I moved the whole party out here.
Well, great.
It's quite a novel idea, starting the party off with an informal hayride. I think we'll enjoy it immensely.
You bet. Where's Catherine?
Right here, Throckmorton.
Yeah, I can't see you. I'll just follow your perfume. Move over, everybody. Give me some hay.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry.
Look out, I'm coming back there, too.
Careful, boy.
Leroy.
Well, I'm certainly not going to sit up on this seat alone. Make room for a judge.
All right.
Hey, isn't this fun?
It's perfect.
Gildersleeve, this was a superb idea.
Well, thank you, Bullard, old friend.
Wait, we're moving. I hear bells.
Yeah, hold on. Who's driving this thing?
Yeah, Pearl, shake a leg.
Good old Peavy.
The great Gildersleeve will return in just a moment. You mothers know that in 1950 there'll be many a raid on that refrigerator of yours, so be prepared. Make sure it holds a 2-pound loaf of Kraft's famous cheese food, Velveeta. Because golden Velveeta is such good eating with its grand, rich-tasting yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And you know the folks can enjoy Velveeta snacks anytime because Velveeta is as digestible as milk itself and really nourishing. For instance, it helps supply protein for strong muscles, minerals that help build sound teeth and bones, vitamins needed for normal growth. You see, Velveeta helps supply many important food values from milk. So whether you spread that Velveeta on crackers or cut hearty slices for sandwiches, you can be sure Velveeta snacks are good for the family and so good to eat. Get genuine Velveeta tomorrow. It's the cheese food of Kraft quality.
Some hayride, just like the good old days.
I told you Pearl was a fine horse, Gildy. We're fairly dipping along.
I've never had so much fun.
I should have brought my clippers along. This hay needs trimming.
Move over, Floyd. Stop pushing.
I'm not pushing. We got a load on this place.
Sure, the more the merrier. Can't move.
Neither can I. I'm trapped.
That's me, just an old trapper.
Gildersleeve.
What is it, Bullard?
Will you scratch the end of my nose?
Sure, but I can't see anything.
Gildy, that's my nose.
I thought it felt like an old goat.
Hey, Uncle, Mr. Bullet still off your list of friends?
Leroy, in the new year, things are going to be different, eh, Bullard?
Yes, indeed. As a matter of fact, Gildersleeve, you're not as big an oaf as I thought you were.
Oh, Bullard,
Hey, everybody, it's 12 o'clock.
Acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. The show was written by Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White, with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Kathy Lewis, Earl Roth, and Dick LeGrand. This is Jay Stewart saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Ladies, Pabstet, the delicious cheddar cheese food, is offering you a knife of 100 uses, the Super Slicer. It pairs faster, slices cleaner, removes olives and cherries from bottles in a jiffy. It's the handiest kitchen knife in years. And you can get this knife for only 25 cents on the top label of a round package of delicious Pabstet cheese food or the red arrow from the top of a 2-pound Pabstet loaf. Send your Pabstet label and your quarter tonight to Phoenix Pabstet, Box 5239, Chicago 77, Illinois. Please print your return address. This offer expires January 31st, 1950.
Break the Bank, radio's biggest money-paying show, is next on NBC.
Kraft Foods Company, makers of Kraft Quality Foods, presents Harold Perry as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous cheese food Velveeta. Everybody goes for Velveeta's rich yet mild cheddar cheese flavor in snacks, in sandwiches, and in hot dishes. And Velveeta, you know, helps supply important food values from milk. It's as digestible as milk itself. That's why smart homemakers keep Velveeta on hand regularly to spread or slice and to melt for grand economical hot dishes. Tomorrow, get Velveeta, the cheese food of Kraft quality. Say, looks like a family huddle in the living room of the Great Gildersleeve's house. There's Marjorie, Leroy, and Bertie, and they have photographs of Marjorie scattered all over the floor.
How do you like this one, Bertie?
Oh, that one's real good. It shows off your eyes.
I like this one with a big face. Looks like you had a mouthful of walnuts.
Is that you, Unky?
Yeah, I'm home. Well, what's going on here?
Marge is going to have a picture in the paper. We're picking one out.
What's this?
It's for the Summerfield Indicator, announcing the engagement.
Why do they have to put it in the paper just because she gets engaged to Bronco Thompson?
Well, it's traditional, my boy, to announce events of this kind. Let's see these pictures. Now, kneel down here where I can see. Or till I get my vest out of the way. Well, I kind of like this one, the profile.
Oh, I think that's awful, Unky. There's too much light on my nose.
Yeah. She looks like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Very good, Leroy. Which one do you like?
Why don't you take this one, Marge?
Well, I'm not crazy about that one either.
Which one is that?
The one where all her teeth are showing. Look, you can count them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
All right, Leroy. Let's not overdo it.
Bertie likes the one in the evening dress.
I think they're all nice.
On second thought, why don't we send the paper this one of you arranging poinsettias on the piano?
But, Unky, don't you like the close-up better?
Well, Marjorie, they can squeeze a close-up into one column. But with you, the poinsettias, and the piano, they'll have to give you 3 columns to get it all in.
When's the picture going to be in, Miss Marjorie?
Well, they want to run it tomorrow afternoon, Bertie, along with the announcement.
By the way, Marjorie, what's the announcement going to say?
Oh, the usual thing the society editor writes about engagements.
Usual thing? Well, seems to me it deserves more than that. After all, this is no ordinary engagement.
No, sir. When Miss Marjorie gets engaged, that's something special.
Hey, you said it, Bertie. Don't think I want to leave an important thing like this to the society editor. Think I'd better write it myself.
Oh, would you, Unky?
Certainly. The bride's family's supposed to make the announcement. I'll do it right after dinner.
Sure. Give it a big build-up, Unc. How about announcing it on the radio?
What?
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. North America and all the ships at sea.
Oh, Leroy.
Flash, Water Commissioner's niece plans to Middle Island.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't worry. Mr. Gildersleeve will lay it on.
Now, Bertie, it'll be a short, simple, dignified announcement. Where's my typewriter and a big stack of paper? Well, we'll see here how does the society page handle these things. Yeah, here's a pretty bride-to-be. Miss Carolyn Elliott McIntyre. Think I'll pattern my announcement after hers. It's the longest. Let's see. It goes something like this. Miss Marjorie Forrester's troth told. Wedding to Mr. Bronco Thompson set for late spring. Bronco doesn't sound right. Better use his real name. What is it? Oh, yes. Walter J. Thompson. Well, here goes. Well, let's see what I have here so far. Miss Forrester is attending Summerfield City College, where her fiancé, Mr. Thompson, graduates in June. We hope. Both young people are popular members of the younger set. Good. Let's see what I said about me. The bride-elect is the niece of Mr. Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, City Water Commissioner. Not bad. The member of the Elks, 1724. Pretty long paragraph about me, but very interesting. Now, what can I say about Bronco's family? Never even met him. Have to go ask Bronco. Bronco?
Oh, yes, Mr. Gildersleeve?
May I disturb you and Marjorie a minute?
Oh, sure, Mr. Gildersleeve. I was just waiting until you finished. I wanted to talk to you.
Oh?
My father and mother would like you and Marjorie and Leroy to drive over to Broadmoor and have dinner with us Saturday evening.
Dinner? Well, fine.
Isn't that wonderful, Unky?
Yes, indeed. Tell them we'd be delighted, Bronco.
Well, they thought it was about time the family of the bride met the family of the groom.
Good idea. I was just wondering about them when I was writing this announcement. I said a few things about me, but I don't know what to say about your family.
Well, Bronco's mother's a darling, Uncle Mort, and you'll like Mr. Thompson.
I'm sure I will. What does your father do, Bronco?
He's in the book business, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh.
We wanted to have you over sooner, but Father's out of town a lot.
Sells books, eh?
Yes, sir. I guess you'd call it that.
Well, I'll mention that. Yeah. See you later, kiddies.
All right, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Bye, Unky.
Too bad there isn't as much to say about Bronco's father as there is about me. But after all, what can you say about a book salesman except get your foot out of the door? Cold out here. Where is that paper boy?
Hey, Unc, what are you standing out in the snow for?
If you must know, Leroy, I'm waiting for the paper boy.
What a character.
That must be the boy coming around the corner. Sounds like his motor scooter. No, Judge Hooker's car. Why doesn't he get that old cement mixer fixed?
Hello, Gildy.
Hello, Judge.
Why are you standing out in the cold, Gildy? Playing snowman?
Watch it, Hooker. You'll get a snowball right through your isinglass curtain.
I should think you'd be in toasting your toes by the fire.
Waiting for the paper boy, Horace. Marjorie's engagement is announced this afternoon.
It is?
Yeah. Picture of Marjorie and a nice little write-up about the families.
Well, I'd like to wait and see it, Gildy, but I'm afraid to let my car stand too long. It's hard to start in cold weather.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, I've got a duplicate copy of the announcement right here, Judge. It just so happens.
You have?
Yeah. Wrote it myself.
Miss Marjorie Forrester's trough toe. Isn't that exciting, Gildy? No wonder you just can't wait for the paper.
Yeah, go ahead and read it, Horace.
Yeah. Splendid. Well said about Bronco and Marjorie.
Keep reading, Judge.
The bride-elect is the niece of Mr. Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, city water commissioner and prominent civic leader. What?
Read, Judge.
Among his many activities, Mr. Gildersleeve is a member of a downtown businessman's club. The Jolly Boys, I presume.
Well?
Member of the Elks Club and an ex-member of the school board. Mr. Gildersleeve is also a patron of the opera when it comes to town. Gildy, this doesn't sound like an engagement announcement.
People are always interested in the bride's family.
Oh? Let's see what you said about the groom's family. Mr. Thompson's father is a well-known book salesman. Gildy, is that all you wrote about Bronco's father?
Well, I said well-known. Can I help it if he's not as prominent as I am? We're going over to Broadmoor to have dinner with him tomorrow night. We want to be on good terms with the family. Might even buy a book from him. Dictionary or something. Uh-oh, here's the paper boy now. Watch out, Judge.
I caught it.
Yeah, right in your nose. Open it up, Judge. Everybody in Summerfield will be reading this tonight.
It'll be on the society page, I suppose.
Chances are, Judge.
Yes, here's Marjorie's picture.
Let me see.
Beautiful girl, Gildy.
Yeah, and 3 columns. Look at there. By George, I know how to handle these things.
Well, they printed the article just as you wrote it, Gildy, except for a couple of changes.
What changes?
The bride-elect is the niece of Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, local water commissioner. Period.
Is that all?
No, there's a lot more, but it isn't about you.
Let me see that. The father of the groom is Mr. Edward C. Thompson of Broadmoor, widely known collector of first editions, a noted art critic. Mr. Thompson recently returned from New York, where he's highly regarded as an authority on modern art.
It seems the editor added a few pertinent facts that you didn't know about, Gildersleeve.
Well, he didn't have to cut out the fact that I'm pretty well known, too.
Sounds like a very important person. I know Mr. Thompson will be just tickled pink when you buy a dictionary from him.
All right, Hooker.
Well, goodbye, prominent civic leader.
Yes.
Gildy, my car won't start. What'll I do?
It's just tin and isinglass. Why don't you eat it, you old goat?
The great Gildersleeve will be back very shortly. Now with the youngsters back at school, things are getting back on schedule. And many of you mothers find that a basketball game schedule has come up on your social calendar. Here's just the thing to serve that hungry gang when they come trooping in from the game. And it's easy if you have in the house some of those long Frankfurter rolls and a 2-pound loaf of Kraft's famous cheese food Velveeta. Now here's what you do. Split the Frankfurter rolls and spread them with Kraft mayonnaise or Kraft mustard. Then fill them with good thick strips of Velveeta with the rich yet mild cheddar flavor everybody likes. Brush the tops of the rolls with melted parquet margarine and pop them into a moderate oven just long enough to melt that Velveeta to a marvelous bubbling gold. Serve piping hot and listen to your teenagers call you a mighty sharp hostess. And mighty sharp is right, because like milk, Velveeta is rich in important food values growing youngsters especially need. And it's digestible as milk itself, too. Velveeta is a treat food that's good for the gang. So keep stocked with the 2-pound loaf that can help you so many ways. Tomorrow, get wholesome, helpful Velveeta. Well, it's beginning to look as though Marjorie's marrying into a family of rather important people, which comes as something of a surprise to the great Gildersleeve. He and Marjorie and Leroy are invited to the Thompsons for dinner. But is the water commissioner worried? Well...
So Bronco's father is an art critic and collector of first editions, eh? Well, he won't bother me any. Guess I'd better stop in and get some better cigars, though. Hello, Peavy.
Well, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this morning?
You can give me a half dozen of your best cigars, Peavy.
Very well.
We're driving over to Broadmoor tonight to see Marjorie's prospective in-laws.
Well, that should be an interesting experience. I see by the paper that this Mr. Thompson is quite a fellow.
Well, there are a lot of things they could have said about me, but I don't go for that publicity stuff.
Paper says he's a collector of first editions and an authority on modern art.
Well?
What are you two going to talk about?
I don't see any problem there, Peavy. There's no reason why I can't carry on an intelligent conversation with an intellectual like Mr. Thompson.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
What do you mean?
Well, if you're like most businessmen and don't follow the arts too closely, conversation could be a problem. I know it would with me.
Well, Peavy, he can talk about his work and I can talk about mine. I can talk about water for hours without running dry.
Right, yes.
Naturally, I'm no authority on the arts. I'm sure Mr. Thompson won't expect me to be.
No, I guess you won't.
You'll naturally assume that I've been too busy with my own affairs to learn much about first editions.
Yes, I guess you will.
And if I don't know anything about this modern art, he'll understand.
Well, he couldn't expect it of the water commissioner.
Oh, he couldn't, eh? What does he think I am, a dunderhead?
How's that?
What does he think he's going to do? Talk about art all evening and embarrass me in front of Marjorie? I wouldn't have that happen to my niece for anything.
Oh, no, you wouldn't want that to happen.
By George, Peavy, do you know what I'm going to do?
Stay home?
Yeah. No, Peavy. I'm going to borrow Marjorie's library card and bone up on first editions and modern art. What do you think of that?
My.
Yeah. you've got your model railroad running all over this house.
Yeah.
Marjorie!
Here I am, Unky.
I'd like to borrow your library card, my dear.
Why do you want my library card?
Well, because I'm going to the library.
You going to the library, Unc?
That's what I said, Leroy.
Imagine a grown man going to the library.
There's nothing so unusual about that.
For you? Are you kidding?
Leroy.
Here's the card, Uncle Mort. But can't you go some other time? There's a lot to do before we go to the Thompsons.
Well, I'd like to spend a couple of hours in the library before I have my first talk with your future father-in-law.
Why, Unky?
Well, I'd like to browse through some of the books on modern art. After all, first impressions are important, and I want our little family to make a good impression for your sake.
But he won't expect you to know anything about art.
That's what I resent. That's exactly why I'm going to the library.
Oh, but Unky, their family is different from ours. Why, even Bronco knew all about the modern painters by the time he was 10.
He did?
So what does it get him?
Since he was 10, eh? Leroy.
Yeah, Unc.
Get your overshoes and your little stocking cap. You're going to the library with me.
Oh, for corn's sake.
Will you hook up my dress, Bertie?
Come in, Miss Marjorie.
I wonder what's keeping Uncle Mort and Leroy. It takes a couple of hours to get to Broadmoor, and we'll have to hurry.
They just came into the driveway. Mr. Gildersleeve sure is cute the way he wants to make the right impression on them in-laws.
Oh, yes, Unky's a dear.
Well, we're back.
We haven't much time, Unky. You and Leroy will have to hurry and dress.
Sorry we're a little late, my dear, but I feel the afternoon was well spent.
It was spent all right.
Now, my boy, we learned some very important things. I think Degas, for example, is best known for his ballet girls. And Picasso was perhaps the most original of the modern school.
Unky, it's Picasso.
Yeah, well, he was very good, though. When he painted a profile, Marjorie, he put both eyes on the same side of the head, like a halibut.
That's the way Leroy used to draw. Both eyes on one side of the head.
Now, that's what they call impressionistic, Bertie.
Yes, sir.
Leroy, put that old train away. You have to get dressed.
Come on, Leroy. We don't want to be late. You can take your bath while I shave.
Another bath? And for heaven's sakes, Leroy, watch your table manners.
I always do.
Yes. And when we leave the Thompsons, my boy, don't forget to tell them that you enjoyed the evening.
Gosh, if everybody's so worried about how I'm going to act, maybe I'd better stay home and play with my train.
Mr. Gildersleeve's just anxious for you to make a good impression, Leroy. He don't want to start off on the outs with the in-laws.
Well, run for the tub, Leroy.
I'm going. Chug, 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 chug.
That boy. It's a good thing Bronco's folks can't see us now.
Now, don't worry, Mother. You're going to like Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, I hope so.
Oh, he's a very nice fella. He's always been swell to me.
Well, he should be, Bronco. You're an exceptional boy.
Oh, Mother.
Isn't he, Edward?
Oh, yes. Who?
I'm talking about our Bronco.
Oh, yes, of course. What about it?
Nothing, Father. Mother was asking me about Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, yes, the Summerfield Water Commissioner.
Well, if he's anything like his charming niece, I'm sure I shall be delighted with him.
Oh, I'm afraid he isn't anything like Marjorie. Like I told you, he's a little on the chubby side.
Oh, dear. And Marjorie's so slender now. I do hope excessive weight doesn't run in the family.
You know, Martha, it's a matter of some concern to me that we may not find a common ground for conversation this evening.
Oh, stop fretting, Edward. You know how fascinating you can be when the conversation gets around to art.
I seriously doubt if art interests Mr. Gildersleeve after seeing that water department calendar he sent us.
Oh, I wonder if I should get it and hang it up. I put it out in the garage.
Don't bother. I put it in the ash can. See now, what can we talk about that'll interest Mr. Gildersleeve?
Water?
Water? Well, what's there to talk about? It's here, and that's all there is to it.
Yes, I suppose so. But perhaps I can think of some questions about it to keep the conversation going. After all, we want to be cordial.
Oh, there they are.
I'll go to the door, Mother.
Water. Well, we'll just make the best of it.
Hello, Marge.
Hello, Bronco.
Well, good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve. Leroy.
Hi.
Yeah, good evening, Bronco.
Oh, come in. I want you to meet my mother and father.
Well, that's why we came over, isn't it, Leroy?
Yeah, that and for dinner.
Hello, Mrs. Thompson and Mr. Thompson. Marjorie, it's so nice to see you, dear.
Good evening, my dear.
And now, Mother, Father, I'd like to present Mr. Gildersleeve.
How do you do, Mr. Gildersleeve? We're delighted to meet you.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to our home, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, thank you both. I've looked forward to meeting you. And this is Leroy.
So this is Marjorie's little brother. How are you, Leroy?
Hi.
Hello, Leroy. My, what a splendid little man.
Yeah? Thanks.
Let me take your coat.
Thank you, Bronco.
Marge, you can help me. Then I want to show you a new record album I have in the library.
All right.
Mother, will we have time to play a few records before dinner?
I think so, dear. You and Marjorie run along.
Oh, you'll excuse us, won't you?
Yeah, ta-ta. Splendid-looking couple, eh, Mr. Thompson?
Who? Oh, Bronco and Marjorie. Yes, to be sure.
Isn't that just like young people? Can't wait to get away from the old folks.
Old folks?
Well, not that any of us are very old, especially you, Mrs. Thompson. I'm sure that gray hair is premature. Bad start.
Please sit down, Mr. Gildersleeve, and Leroy.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Can I take the chair with all the birds tattooed on it?
Leroy, that's needlepoint. I should have left that boy at home.
You just make yourself at home, Leroy.
Well, here we are.
Yes. Here we are.
We really should have had your family over before, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, no. We should have had you over before.
Well, anyway, here we are.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Thompson, I understand you're quite an art connoisseur.
Well, I've dealt in the moderns, impressionistic and post-impressionistic, for a number of years, but I imagine mine is a prosaic life compared to anything as exciting as your field.
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve. Tell us about water.
Well, there isn't much to tell.
Oh, on the contrary, there must be many fascinating facts about water. Strange thing, really. Water everywhere, and we never give it a thought.
Well, getting it everywhere takes a little doing, Mr. Thompson.
Oh, it must. It's been a dreadful problem in New York.
Yeah, they couldn't even take baths.
Mr. Gildersleeve, how long do you think we'll have all the water we want?
Well, I'd say as long as Mr. Thompson pays his bill, I guess. Yes. Now, about this modern art, Mr. Thompson, I think Degas' ballet girls are wonderful. The paintings, I mean.
Have you seen many of Degas' originals?
It's interesting, too, about Picasso. The way he paints both eyes on one side of the head.
Yeah, like a halibut.
Oh, I know. I should have left him home.
Yes, Picasso is quite imaginative.
Yeah, quite.
Yes, indeed.
Good old Picasso.
Oh, good heavens.
Mr. Gildersleeve, now, take these water shortages. How large is our world supply?
World supply? Well, about this modern art.
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Well, oh, brother. What's that you were saying about water, Mr. Thompson?
Water? Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm afraid I interrupted you. You were about to say something about modern art.
I was? Well,
Is it too warm in here, Mr. Gildersleeve?
yes. Oh, no.
Chum, 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 chum. Woo, woo. Chum,
Leroy, what are you doing?
just running my model engine on the arm of the chair.
Where did you get that thing?
Just happened to find it in my pocket.
Say, Leroy, isn't that a B&O dockside switch engine?
Sure. How did you know?
How did I know? Why, my dear boy, I've been a model railroad fan for years.
You have?
Gosh, no kidding.
Hey, just a moment, Leroy. Oh, the pickup wire on your brass terminal needs a little solder. Don't you think so, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Solder? Oh, yeah. Nothing like solder on the brass terminal.
Say, let's all go down into the basement. I'd like to show you my model railroad.
Well, fine. Love model railroads.
Now, Edward, dinner's almost ready.
Oh, we won't be long. Come on, Gildersleeve. Leroy.
Sure, let's go.
Well, this is going to be a great evening.
Yes, indeed it is. Little Leroy. Bless his little heart.
The Great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. You smart mothers know that when it comes to this nutrition business, there are really only two kinds of foods. There are the foods that are filler-uppers and the foods that are builder-uppers. You give the folks both kinds every day, making sure that your menus include plenty of the builder-uppers. One of these builder-uppers is Kraft's famous cheese food Velveeta, because it helps supply such fine nourishment from milk. For instance, Velveeta helps give the folks protein for strong muscles, minerals that help build sound teeth and bones, and vitamins needed for normal growth. What's more, Velveeta is digestible as milk itself. So let the snacks at your house be Velveeta snacks. Serve your vegetables with a golden sauce you make with smooth melting Velveeta. Tomorrow, get it in the 2-pound loaf. The swell builder-upper food the whole family likes. Kraft's famous Velveeta.
Long drive home.
Gee whiz, why did you have to sit and talk all the time after dinner?
Well, that's why Uncle Mort came over, Leroy, to get acquainted with the Thompsons.
Yes.
Gee, we could have played with the trains. All they did was talk about Bronco, and all you did was talk about Marjorie.
Mm-hmm.
Holy smoke, what are you going to talk about when they come to our house?
I don't know, Leroy. Maybe I'll have my appendix out, and then we can talk about my operation. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. The show was written by Paul West, John Elliott, and Andy White, with music by Jack Meakin. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Mary Lee Robb, Lillian Randolph, Earl Ross, and Dick LeGrand. This is Jay Stewart saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next Wednesday and every Wednesday for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Good night.
Which suits your taste? Mustard that's mild, delicately spiced, or sharp, snappy mustard with zing in every bite? Either way, you like Kraft prepared mustard, for there are two kinds. Salad mustard, tangy but gentle, and Kraft prepared mustard with snappy horseradish added. Have both on hand for different tastes, different uses. Either works magic in bringing out hidden flavor. For when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Get Kraft prepared mustard.
Break the Bank, radio's biggest money-paying show, is next on NBC.